Have you ever asked yourself why your hair is thinning so quickly, even though you take good care of it every morning? I've met so many women over 60 who think the reason is aging, but the truth is, it's not. One of the reasons your hair falls faster, grows weaker, and becomes thinner month after month comes from a tiny habit you do with your blow dryer every morning. A habit that more than 90% of women over 60 accidentally make, without realizing it's weakening their hair follicles day by day. If you're noticing more hair in your brush, a wider part line, or handfuls of shedding after blow drying, then this video will help you understand exactly what's happening and, more importantly, how to fix it in just a few weeks. I'm Dr. Evelyn Brooks, a dermatologist with 15 years of experience in treating hair loss, scalp aging, and common skin conditions in women over 60. For more than a decade, I've worked with thousands of women ages 60 to 85, women who came to me with visibly thinning hair, weaker scalps, and clumps of shedding every morning. But simply by changing a few small habits, they saw noticeable improvements, sometimes in just 3 to 5 weeks. What makes me passionate about this topic is this: older women don't need more expensive products. They just need the right guidance to protect hair follicles, reduce damage, and restore the natural strength of their hair. And in today's video, I'm going to show you one of the most common mistakes women over 60 make with their blow dryer, and the simple fix that helps your hair grow stronger every day. Before we continue, I want to ask you something small. How old are you this year? And which state in the U.S. are you watching from? I read every comment, and I truly want to understand each person's story. I ask this because most women I meet in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, even 80 seconds, all share the same fear: more shedding, weaker hair, and a part line that gets wider over time. And they often tell me very familiar things like, "I guess it's just aging, doctor. My scalp feels so much thinner. I don't know why, but every time I blow dry my hair, I lose a handful." But the truth is, it's not their fault. After 60, the body changes quickly, hormones drop, the scalp becomes drier, and hair follicles weaken, and just one small wrong habit can cause visible thinning. I want you to know this: you're not the only one experiencing this. And more importantly, you can improve it. We're going to start with the very blow dryer you use every morning. Every morning, we all have a familiar routine: shower, towel dry, brush, and then blow dry to get the hair in place before starting the day. For many women over 60, the blow dryer has been a companion for decades. It makes the hair dry quickly, look neat, and even feel stronger. But what most of us don't realize is this: hair after 60 is not the same as hair at 30 or 40. Strands are 20–30% thinner, the scalp is drier, and hair follicles are much more fragile. So the blow-drying habits you used all your life, habits that seemed harmless, have now become the reason your hair sheds more, weakens, and visibly thins. And there are 5 common mistakes I see in almost all my older patients. Tiny mistakes, but incredibly damaging to hair after 60. Now, let's start with mistake number 1, and this is the mistake that 9 out of 10 women make every morning. This is the biggest mistake. And also, the number 1 reason hair falls out faster in women over 60. Many women turn their blow dryer to the hottest setting so the hair dries faster, or to make it feel more voluminous and styled. But what happens inside the hair strand is the exact opposite. When you bring the blow dryer too close to your scalp, the hot air immediately forces the cuticle layer to open, causing the hair to lose its natural moisture. Within just a few seconds, keratin, the very protein that keeps your hair strong, begins to break down. The scalp also dries out faster, leading to irritation, mild redness, and gradually weakening the hair follicles day by day. The most concerning part is this: it doesn't hurt, it doesn't feel burning, so we don't realize we're damaging our hair. I once measured the actual temperature from a blow dryer on hot mode, placed just 5 centimeters away. The result was over 150 degrees Celsius, 302 degrees Fahrenheit. At this level, the hair strand needs only 2–3 seconds of exposure before it starts to weaken, break, and shed twice as easily. Women over 60 are even more vulnerable because the scalp is thinner, hair follicles are more sensitive, strands are drier from root to tip, moisture retention drops sharply due to hormonal changes. When you repeat this habit every morning, your hair doesn't just shed more, it sheds faster week after week without anyone noticing. The fix is incredibly simple. Keep the blow dryer at least 6-8 inches, 15-20 centimeters away from the scalp, and switch to the warm setting instead of hot. Just this one small change has helped many older women reduce hair fall by up to 40% in just a few weeks. The second mistake I see in so many women over 60 is this: blow drying the hair immediately after stepping out of the shower. When the hair is still dripping wet, this may sound normal, but it's actually the moment when hair is at its weakest. When the hair is soaking wet, the strands expand and the cuticle layer opens wider than usual to absorb water. In this expanded state, hair is up to 50% weaker, and even a light force or heat can cause breakage, split ends, and micro damage that the eye can't see. For women over 60, the problem is even more serious because strands are already thinner, elasticity is reduced, the scalp is dry with less natural oil, hair follicles are more sensitive to heat. When you use a blow dryer on hair that's still heavy with water, the hot air causes the water to evaporate too quickly, making the strand contract suddenly. This rapid temperature shift creates tiny micro cracks along the hair shaft, which eventually lead to shedding, breakage, and frizz. This is why so many women say, "I don't know why, but every time I blow dry, I see more hair on the floor." But that's not age. It's because the hair is being attacked at its weakest moment. The solution is very simple. After showering, use a microfiber towel to gently blot your hair. Let the towel absorb about 60–70% of the water. Allow the hair to rest for 3–5 minutes before you start blow drying. With this small change, you'll reduce a significant amount of breakage without needing any expensive products. The next common mistake is the habit of blow drying while pulling the hair with a round brush, a habit that seems harmless but actually puts a lot of pressure on the hair roots, especially for women over 60. When you use a round brush to twist or stretch the hair while drying, each strand is forced to handle 2 types of stress at the same time: mechanical pulling from the brush, heat from the blow dryer. This combination creates what I call root breakage. This is not breakage along the hair shaft, it's breakage happening right at the root, causing each strand to weaken and fall out sooner. The unfortunate part is that most women don't realize it. They think the shedding is due to age, but in reality, it's the pulling force during blow drying that silently damages the follicles every single day. For women after 60, this is the period when hair follicles shrink, the scalp gets thinner, and natural oil production decreases. That means any pulling force causes twice as much damage compared to younger years. If you've noticed short, broken pieces, weak roots, or more shedding after brushing, then this may very well be the reason. A simple and safer solution: use a wide-tooth comb to detangle before blow drying. Avoid using a round brush when the hair is still damp. Choose lighter airflow and avoid stretching the hair too much. These small changes can significantly reduce breakage, especially around the roots and the crown area. And if you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to tap like or leave a heart emoji, so I know this content is supporting you. It truly motivates me to create more videos specifically for women over 60. The next mistake that many women over 60 accidentally make, sometimes for decades without ever realizing it, is blow drying the hair against its natural growth direction. I know many women believe that drying from the bottom upward helps the hair look fuller, thicker, younger, and more voluminous. But what most people don't realize is this: for hair that is already weak, fine, and easily damaged after 60, this technique does more harm than good. When you lift the blow dryer from the bottom upward, the hot airflow pushes the strands away from the scalp, creating continuous pressure on the follicles. From a dermatology perspective, this pressure is called mechanical stress, and this type of stress is exactly what silently weakens the roots, causes shedding right at the base, and gradually widens the part line over time. Not only that, when you dry against the growth direction, the cuticle, the hair's natural protective layer, is forced open, making the hair dry, frizzy, hard to style, and more prone to breakage. This is especially damaging for fine hair, small diameter strands, or hair that has been chemically treated in the past. I once had a 70-year-old patient who always blow-dried her hair upward because she believed it made her hair look bouncier, but unfortunately, that familiar habit caused her hair to break at the root, making the crown increasingly thinner and leaving her feeling self-conscious whenever she looked in the mirror. When I explained the cause, she simply sighed and said, "Doctor, I didn't know I'd been doing it wrong for decades." The truth is, older women do not need fake volume. What hair after 60 truly needs is real strength, solid roots, moisture along the hair shaft, and the natural smoothness of a well-protected cuticle. Unfortunately, the solution is extremely simple. Always blow dry from top to bottom, following the natural direction of hair growth. Let the airflow support the closing direction of the cuticle, making the hair shinier and stronger. Minimize any pulling force on the roots, especially around the crown and temples. When you change your drying technique, even within just 1 week, you'll notice less frizz, a calmer scalp, and significantly reduced shedding during brushing or showering. It's a small change, but one that brings very big results for hair after 60. The final mistake, and one of the silent reasons women's hair weakens gradually after 60, is not using any heat protectant before blow drying. Many women believe that simply avoiding the hot setting is enough, but the truth is very different. Even the warm airflow of a blow dryer can cause the hair to lose moisture quickly, force the cuticle open, and make the strands more prone to breakage, especially in areas where the hair is already thin or weak, such as the crown and temples. And in women over 60, the lack of estrogen makes the hair dry out faster, less elastic, lose keratin more easily, and almost completely lack the natural oil barrier it had when younger. This means your hair is almost entirely exposed to heat, no matter how gentle the airflow seems. Just one thin layer of protection can reduce up to 50% of the direct heat exposure on each strand. A heat protectant, whether a spray, cream, or lightweight oil, works like a thin coat for the hair. It coats the strands, locks in moisture, reduces friction, and prevents thermal shock during blow drying. I've heard many women say, "I don't want to put anything on my hair, I'm afraid it will weigh it down." But in reality, there are extremely lightweight protectants that barely add any heaviness, especially suitable for thin, sparse, or fragile hair after 60. The solution is very simple. Choose a lightweight spray, heat protectant, or a diluted argan serum. Use a very small amount, just 1-2 drops or 2-3 sprays. Apply from mid-length to ends, avoiding the scalp. Wait 20-30 seconds before drying. After about 3-4 weeks, you'll notice your hair becoming softer, less tangled, shinier, and most importantly, noticeably less sheddiness. Sometimes, just adding one small step like this can bring a major improvement to the hair of a woman after 60. Now, to help you understand why blow-drying mistakes can cause so much damage, let's look at the natural changes that happen to your hair after age 60. When you enter the postmenopause stage, your body begins to lose estrogen rapidly, the hormone that helps keep your hair thick, strong, and growing consistently. When estrogen drops, the hair follicles begin to shrink. This is a process we call miniaturization, and it is the main reason hair gradually becomes thinner over the years. Not only that, your scalp also changes. Natural oil production decreases significantly, making the scalp dry, more sensitive, and more vulnerable to heat. A scalp without enough natural oils means there's no protective layer to shield the hair from blow-dryer heat. Circulation in the scalp also decreases with age. This means the follicles no longer receive the same amount of oxygen and nutrients they used to. When blood flow weakens, new hair grows in thinner, softer, and more fragile. All of these changes create a situation where the hair already naturally weaker only needs a small mistake, such as too much heat, pulling, or drying while wet, to shed more than usual. Thankfully, this is not the end. Hair after 60 can become stronger, fuller, and shed less if we reduce the external damage and support what the body is losing internally. And simply by changing the way you use your blow dryer each day, you're already halfway to restoring your hair's natural strength. Now that you understand why hair becomes more sensitive after 60, we can move to the most important part: how to blow dry your hair properly without damaging the follicles. The good news is, you don't need to change much. Just a few small habit adjustments can make your hair noticeably healthier within weeks. Here are the safe blow drying steps I always teach my older patients. Step 1. After washing, use a microfiber towel to absorb the excess water. This type of towel is soft, low friction, and helps the hair dry about 60–70% without any pulling. Step 2. Apply a lightweight heat protectant, either a spray or a thin serum. It acts like a coat that shields the hair from heat. Step 3. When you start drying, keep the blow dryer at least 6–8 inches, 15–20 centimeters away, and choose the warm setting instead of hot. This distance allows the heat to spread more evenly and reduces the risk of cuticle damage. Step 4. Always dry in a top-to-bottom direction so the cuticle closes naturally, keeping the hair soft, smooth, and less tangled. Step 5. When the hair is almost dry, switch to the cool shot. The cool air helps lock in the cuticle, retain moisture, and set the hair naturally. Step 6 optional. Gently massage your scalp for 1–2 minutes before styling. This stimulates circulation and helps deliver nutrients to the follicles, something hair after 60 desperately needs. And finally, you don't need to force your hair into a style or create strong volume like you did when you were younger. Our goal now is to keep each strand as healthy, soft, and break-resistant as possible. These small adjustments lead to big results, and I've watched it happen in countless women ages 60 to 80. I want to share a story I still remember clearly, the story of Margaret, 72, from California. She came to see me on a March morning. As she sat down, she gently stroked her hair and said something that truly touched my heart. "Doctor, I'm not afraid of going grey. I'm afraid of the day when I won't have anything left to tie back." She told me that for 6 months straight, her hair had been shedding so much that every time she brushed, her hands were full of hair, especially after blow-drying, even more shedding than usual. Her crown area had started to thin noticeably, and the scalp was visible under the light. She thought it was something she simply had to accept after turning 70. But when I asked her what she did every morning, everything became clear. She blow-dried on the hottest setting, kept the dryer very close to her scalp, and used a round brush to pull her hair into shape, exactly what she had done for over 40 years. That habit unintentionally dried out her scalp severely and exhausted her follicles day by day. I guided her to change just 3 small things. Switch to the warm setting. Keep the dryer 20 centimeters away. Use a heat protectant before drying. She also added a 2-minute nightly scalp massage, a very gentle routine that works well for older women. After 5 weeks, she came back with a relieved smile. She said, "Doctor, you won't believe it. I'm no longer afraid when I brush my hair." Her shedding had reduced, her hair felt softer, and her part line had begun to narrow. It wasn't a miracle, but it was real improvement, coming from fixing the small things she had overlooked for years. Margaret's story is also the story of so many women after 60. You don't need to do anything dramatic. Just start with the tiniest daily habits, and your hair will respond slowly but surely by healing itself. You know, a woman's hair after 60 is like a diary. It records what the body has been through: hormonal changes, years of stress, and even the little habits we don't always notice. But the beautiful thing is this: it is never too late to start again. When you become gentler with your hair, more patient with your body, and care for your scalp with kindness, your hair responds. It doesn't need to return to what it was in your 20s. Just being a little healthier than yesterday, a little softer, more even, and shedding a little less, that's already a big victory. Your hair isn't weak because you're aging. It's weak because it needs the right kind of care. And today, you now know exactly what to do. If you're beginning your hair care journey after 60, remember that every small change matters. Even fixing the way you use your blow dryer each day can become a turning point that makes your hair stronger in the months ahead. You deserve beautiful, healthy, vibrant hair at any age. If today's video helped you understand your hair better, I'd be truly grateful if you tapped like or left a heart to support the channel. It gives me so much motivation to continue creating helpful videos just for women over 60. And if you're experiencing hair thinning in any area, the crown, the temples, or along your part line, Leave a comment below. I read every message, every question, and I always try my best to respond and support you. Finally, if you want to keep receiving gentle, simple, practical guidance tailored to women after 60, don't forget to subscribe to Woman Over 60 Secrets. That way, you won't miss the small, helpful tips I share each week. Tips that help you love your body more and live healthier at every age. See you in the next video.